And that's what we have not addressed at this table. We are looking at a change of outcome without looking at a change of a system. We must learn from South Africa. And what did we learn from South Africa? From the Mandelas and the Archbishop Desmond Tutus of this world. They agreed on one thing, which was fundamental. They looked at the common ground. The people who are going into government to become terrorists and to become vandals, to become crazy men and tyrants, they are not necessarily evil. It is the system that sometimes coerces you or changes you. Yeah. In other words, power comes at the expense of change most times. There are guys you love to die for, and the moment they have power, they turn to something else. Because they are not seeing some things that they ended up seeing when they get to power. So we need to look at the system and find how to rejig the system. And how do you rejig the system in a society like ours? You need to show more than you tell. People need to begin to prove themselves worthy, capable, conscientious, and also committed to leadership. And what is leadership? She has said it today. She said she is interested in creating platforms that gives expression to other people. In other words, raising more enlightened leaders who will generate their own followers who are educated and exposed enough to be easy to govern, difficult to rule, and impossible to enslave. And I believe as an active citizen in the Nigerian political or socio-political space, it is the duty of every one of us to express ourselves and show leadership from where we stand.
Thank you so much. I love the perspective, and I think we can draw a conclusion when it comes to gender, inclusion, and diversity from there. And one of the profound things that we made mention is that she was talking about everybody does not necessarily have to run for office.
Can I quickly add that our takeaway from this particular segment is that we must raise a generation of people who are easy to govern, difficult to rule, and impossible to enslave. That's all.
I love that.
It's almost impossible for us to be talking about democracy without dealing with press freedom. And in Nigeria and Africa, this is something that people fought so hard to, for us to be able to achieve. But today we see that most of the journalists, people who actually come out to say things, their lives are being threatened. We see them in detention. So, Mr. Anare, what do you have to say about that? What is the future? Is there anything like press freedom at all? Because if at all they try to exercise it, they get into so much trouble. So where is the limit? Like, what is the future for press freedom here in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. There was a man I met in a hospital bed. I didn't even know that he was a very popular figure. He has been in the press. He worked with Gani, Fawemi. He worked with a lot of people in Ibadan, Adedibu and the like. So, and then he made a statement. He said that he cannot again, never in his life, never in his life, be an advocacy for press freedom because of what he has experienced. That what he is facing today is the result of what he has been through. And the people he fought for abandoned him. So first, we need to know that whatever directly affects someone else, indirectly affects me. Okay, so now, if we think that the press freedom does not matter to us because it is not one of the major issues that is in the media, and if we think it does not affect us directly, we're joking. I mean, we're actually joking. So the thing is, we need to, because if there is no freedom, because the power to choose is freedom. So if we cannot choose to report the truth, to give the people the perspective, the true perspective of what is going on, if the press freedom is taken away, then governance accountability is taken away. The government cannot be accountable to the people if the press do not have the freedom.
So, for example, I'm a journalist. I'm reporting the truth, and then come 3 days or come 3 months after, I'm being held under custody. So, it's just like what we said in the beginning about the economy issue. I am broke. I need money to fund my bills, to pay things that matters to me. And then the government comes and say, okay, drop your vote, and then I give you money. So for journalists who are listening to this, how do they draw their line? Because their lives are being threatened. We know already that there's some people already in custody because of century. So where do we leave from there? What should they not be press freedom? I don't know.
You know, we're focusing so much on press freedom. I'm like, and you saying that it doesn't concern, some people believe it doesn't concern them because we're talking about, how about just freedom of expression before we even go to press freedom?
Okay.
In a world that's getting increasingly smaller with the proliferation of social media and instant messaging, freedom of